Bitcoin, Ethereum, the entire crypto market all just got reset. I want to talk about that with you in today's video, looking at some of the key technicals that we need to know. We also have a new rally forming up for the dollar. The dollar, man. Come on, dollar. What are you doing, buddy? And I also want to take a moment to real quick just discuss the psychological impact of these crazy relief rallies that we get during a bear market. All of that and more in today's video. My name's Lark. I make videos on investing. If you do like that topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a little tap on the thumbs up button. Let me know you do appreciate this kind of content. Let's get into it. First, a quick word on the psychology of a relief rally. These are very funny in a bear market because if you haven't been through this before, it's important to understand these relief rallies come, these bear market rallies come, and this was actually quite a small one. I think we're going to get a much bigger bear market rally at some point in the not so distant future when some of this macro stuff chills out a little bit but hasn't totally finished. We're going to get a much bigger rally. The kind of rally that, well, much like this one, it gets just bullish enough to make you start thinking, man, this is the real deal. This is a real rally. Recovery is possible. There could be an end to the pain in the market. And then blammo, no, the market rugs you, shattering your hopes, bringing you emotionally back down to the pits of the bear market. Expect this to happen a few more times during the bear market. We are a long way away from breaking out in any significant sense in terms of creating a new trend, breaking out of the downtrend. Like, we're ages away from that. We're not even close right now. So expect this emotional roller coaster to continue throughout the bear market. Hopefully the worst of it is behind us, but don't be surprised if we come back down and retest some truly low levels on Bitcoin, maybe going back under $20,000. Don't be surprised if it happens. Be psychologically ready for these scenarios. Now let's talk real quick about the S&P 500. Obviously a nice red candle on the daily here, coming back down after being rejected at that key area of resistance on the downtrend line there. Now that fall of the S&P 500 coincides pretty well with this, the dollar man, on another massive freaking rally, unfortunately. And when we get big dollar rallies, as we've seen over the last few days, well, that means everybody is fleeing from risk assets and fleeing into cash, essentially. People are getting out of stocks, as we can see here, and of course people are getting out of Bitcoin, crypto, all that stuff, as we can see right here. Dollar, man. Frickin' dollar rally, dude. Obviously, now we have to watch and see if the 109 level acts as resistance, and maybe we get a double top on the dollar. That would be nice. We could see the dollar falling significantly if that were to happen. But as of right now, all we've had is basically two technically bullish retests on the 50-day exponential moving average, bouncing higher for the dollar. Dollar, man, our arch nemesis. Now, it's interesting across the crypto space, looking at all the different altcoins and stuff and how just similar so many of the charts are. And obviously, there's always a few outliers that look very, very different, but a lot of charts are kind of looking like this. So we did break this RSI uptrend on a lot of the coins that we were looking at. See, AVAX is just a typical example of that. RSI uptrend broken massively, coming right back down. But interestingly, look at the price action here. We actually came right back down and landed on this trend line right here. Now, it's hanging on by a breath at the moment, so let's be very clear about that. That could break through at any moment, invalidating this, but for the moment, we have found at least temporary support along this trend line, which is very, very interesting. If we bounced from there, that would be a bullish move for the market. And technically, here's the thing that's going to be crazy. In spite of this big RSI downtrend break, we would actually be seeing nothing more than higher lows for the price of many of these assets. Look at AVAX. It's just a higher low, right? Here we had our low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low over here, right? So as long as we don't drop below that $19.50 line, which would of course would invalidate the trend line here anyway, then it is just a higher low. Very fascinating. By the way, if you want to be trading cryptocurrencies, do get yourself an account over on Bybit. Use the link down below. You get 30% off your trading fees, up to $4,450 in bonuses that you can use to long and short a wide variety of the top cryptocurrencies, or just trade on their spot markets. It is the 7th biggest spot market in the world, so a huge range of fun coins to trade over here on Bybit. Use the link down below to get started. Now let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's also showing some very, very interesting signs here. Again, we did see that big cut down on the RSI after the uptrend broke. But in a lot of ways, this is almost like a reset for the RSI for Bitcoin. Now, I think we should definitely be watching out, though, for a situation where we see the RSI entering into the oversold territory again. That is below the purple box here, right? Getting down into the black zone under 30, like we've seen previously back here in June, back here in May, right? Back here in January. I would not be surprised to see another oversold reading on Bitcoin. However, in many ways, such a big fall in the RSI so quickly, we got all the way down to 32.5. It's pretty damn close. In a lot of ways, this kind of resets the RSI for us. And yeah, it can still fall farther, but in a lot of ways, that's an interesting area for it to be bouncing back up at. And if we can maintain there, well, perhaps there's a bit of hope in sight for Bitcoin. Also worth noting here, where did we come in at? Again, this is technically a higher low for Bitcoin. Not by a lot, by like $100, but it is a higher low for Bitcoin nevertheless. It came right down to almost touch the bottom of this wick here from the 26th of July. Pretty crazy stuff, bounced higher there. So we'll see if that can maintain any kind of level. We can also see, if we take this one line off here, we can also see that Bitcoin almost basically held its uptrend line here too. So this is the price uptrend. So even though the RSI uptrend broke, right, that broke. We saw that break. We'll just put that on there again so you can see it nice and clearly. That broke quite spectacularly, but the price uptrend still technically intact. Like I said, it is barely, but still technically a higher low for the price for Bitcoin, and it has landed on and bounced off of this trend line. Again, we're hanging on by just a breath here, much like with AVAX. It's very, very thin line between this and falling into price oblivion that could see us coming back down to test some of these areas of price support under $20,000. So do not be shocked if that happens, right? We're still in a tough macro situation. We have the Federal Reserve meeting coming up in a few days. They might be overly hawkish. People could freak out about that. For example, one of the many narratives that you see forming up coming into the end of the month here, we have the Mt. Gox Bitcoin being released. I'm going to make another video talking more in depth about that. That's coming up any day. That could be a big deal in terms of providing new sell pressure into the market on what is already a weak market right here as we're seeing. So do keep these things in mind. This uptrend line barely hanging on by a thread here, and we could easily come back down to retest some of these lower levels here with bad news from the Fed, Mt. Gox sales, all that kind of stuff. So be ready for that to happen, okay? Be prepared for those kind of events. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst in markets as always. That is the bear market mantra. Now, let's talk about Ethereum real quick before we wrap up the video. We can see Ethereum actually showing a lot more strength than a lot of other assets. I think the merge is getting a lot of people excited. And yeah, we had a big sell-off, obviously, from $2,000 all the way back down to $1,600. That's a 20% drop over a week. It's pretty serious. We are trading back under the 50-day exponential moving average, flirting right now with this key area of price support for Ethereum. You can see it was a major area of price resistance back here late July, formed up as price support here in early August. Right now, once again, struggling with that as an area of resistance, deciding whether or not we're going to turn that into support or not and bounce higher, or let it form as resistance and potentially push down lower. Now, Ethereum, by the way, can come all the way down to $1,250 and still be maintaining something of an uptrend. Now, will we get more bullish action before the merge comes in? We're less than 30 days away at this point. We could see a lot of bullish price action come in, especially in the closer weeks to the merge. So maybe 2 weeks away, for example, we start to see some real hardcore price action we've been picking up. But the macro may override the Ethereum merge rally. We could get some anemic kind of price action happening, but not the kind of price action we'd expect for such a big event. So something to keep an eye on for sure. We'll see if 1600 ends up being an area of resistance and pushing us down, where we finally find some support here and can push back up and start conquering some of these exponential moving averages again. Be very curious to see how that plays out over the next few days. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day on what is happening in the markets. You'll let me know your opinion on any of this stuff down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.